With 4 events left before the grand final in Mallorca, the business end of the Challenge Tour season took us into Africa and Rabat in Morocco, making a welcome return to the schedule after an absence of 9 years. In Royal Golf Dar es Salaam, we had a stunning setting too. Its blue course primed to host event 20 of our season, the Lala Asia Challenge Tour. For some, it was make or break time.
It was a year where I felt like I played consistently well, leading up to Morocco, and I felt that there was something coming in my game.
The Welshman was far off the lead heading into the final round, 4 behind Sweden's Joel Sjöholm and England's Jack Senior.
I played consistently well for 5 or 6 weeks really, and I felt that I needed one more good week to really kind of secure my place obviously in the top 15 and just trying to post as low as I could.
Doing what he needs to do, good stuff from Senior, but Oliver Farr, we hear, is making a move.
I chipped in on the 3rd, hold a ridiculous putt on the 4th, which I think was on camera, and then the 5th hole was par 5 and it was a comfortable birdie. I'm experienced enough now to know that if you want to win, you've got to push and you've got to keep pushing. It was just one of those rounds where it seemed I was going for shots and pulling them off, if you like.
Go on. Someone breathe on it. Oh, there you go.
Gravity. Coming down the last, I saw that I think I had a 2-shot lead. And then, yeah, probably hit the best shot of the day into the last.
Up and over the trees. Not a great angle for Farr, coming from the first cut of rough. And my word, look at that. That is excellent. Absolutely top draw. And he has got that for a 9th birdie of the day for a closing 63. What a final round this has been from Oliver Farr. 15 under, he sets the target and now has to wait and see if it's enough.
I think I actually got to the 14th, was it, or the 13th, and actually thought they'd made a mistake with the scoring. I thought, it can't be right, because I felt like I was playing pretty solid golf and I was 3 behind with sort of like 5 holes to play, and then I kind of went, well, tried to not stop winning, but almost kind of played for second place.
Senior safe in the knowledge that he's got his card for the European Tour next season. He finishes 3 behind Oliver Farr, the Lala Asia Challenge Tour champion.
Jack Senior.
I've been out here 8 years and I've never had a full card. I think it's a relief, the fact that you've finally done it and you've finally worked hard, and almost it's your childhood dream to play on the European Tour, and obviously just looking forward to the experience.
Well, next, quite a contrast. All back to Ireland for a rain-reduced event. 54 holes, plus a few extra for Oscar Langdon, and eventual winner Spain's Emilio Cuartero Blanco in his 83rd Challenge Tour start. Meanwhile, 1,200 miles away, Francesco Laporta was playing in the Rolex Series and emerging as top Italian at his home event. Tied 7th, vindicating his risky decision to skip a week on the Challenge Tour. The next question, could the Italian carry that form east for the first leg of our Asian swing on the island of Hainan?
I was a bit tired for the flight and everything, but I get there, so okay, just try to do your best to finish in the top 10, and then you can secure your card.
The hotel was amazing, the place, the beach, the food was great. To me, it's the best event in the year. So yeah, I was so excited about this week.
Laporta was clearly still riding the wave from his exploits in Rome the previous week. Through 36 holes, he was 3 shots off the pace. Then a Saturday 64 gave him a 2-shot cushion at the top. The Italian was grouped with Robin Roussel of France and Dutchman Vil Besseling on the final day.
I was leading by 2, and then I said, okay, maybe it can be your week. I wasn't that nervous. I was more nervous a week before in Italy.
Early test here for Laporta, out of position at the first. But he's handled that nicely. Should be good enough for an opening par.
But Roussel wasn't in the mood to make life easy for his rival.
I was 3 shots back and I hold 7-8 meters putt to go just 1 shot back. I knew after like 11, 12, 13, 14 it's pretty easy holes, then you can go low, and now I was just trying to keep focus on what I had to do.
Well, it's starting to look like this will go to either Roussel or Laporta, to France or Italy. Laporta trying to hang on for the win.
5 to 6 holes to go, so I was leading by 2, so okay Francesco, now you can relax. Top three is enough for the card. Just play your golf and that's it.
As Bessling buckled, Laporta held a 1-shot lead over Roussel, coming up the par 5 18th.
On the 18 I had one of my favorite golf shots, which is 60 meters. I just hit a terrible shot, laid it 7 meters short. I missed the playoff for 1, but at the end, now with the backup, I'm glad with this 2nd place, of course.
It is a maiden victory for Francesco Laporta. And what's more, it's a win that takes him to the top of the Road to Mallorca rankings with just 2 tournaments to go.
I waited like 6 years for my professional victory. So I never had like a victory like that big, and it was a bit emotional. All my friend was there. When you win, you feel like no one can beat you. In that moment, maybe after 10 minutes, I don't know, but in that moment.
The penultimate stop on this year's schedule saw us descend on the Chinese mainland for the 7th staging of the Foshan Open. With a $500,000 prize fund, there was no shortage of incentive for those keen to make a move on the all-important top 15. Come the final round, China's own Zheng Kai-bai tied for the lead with Portugal's Ricardo Santos on a congested leaderboard, no less than 21 players separated by 6 shots. Zicheng Dao was another local in the mix. He was already 4 under for the day as he struck this approach to the par 4 14th.
Well, after a poor outward 9, Callum Hill has moved through the gears with 4 birdies in a row. This his approach at the 18th. Excellent. If he holds that, he'll finish solo 3rd, and that will take him back to number 1 on the road to Mallorca.
I think it's just the best accolade you could achieve all year, is just to top the Challenge Tour, beat all your competitors and friends that you play with throughout the year. And if you can do that, then you've done something right for an extended period of time.
Dow for birdie at 18. So he sets the clubhouse target at 19 under. The Chinese fans know they're getting a home winner because Zheng Kai-bai for his 4th straight birdie at the last, and the win. And it's a little slice of history as well, as he becomes the first Chinese player to win on the Challenge Tour.
The road to Mallorca will soon be complete.
Just one event remains.
It's now or never.
It's time to shine.
It's all come down to this. The Challenge Tour Grand Final, where the era will be made.
The top 45 players have made it to the Challenge Tour Grand Final in Mallorca. We've had some seriously tough conditions this morning, resulting in a 2-hour delay. But our 54-hole leaders, Sebastian Heisler and Francesco Laporta, are about to get their final rounds underway.
The weather was bad, so it was raining heavy, and I wasn't that happy to go back on the course, actually. Especially with this weather, you can play good golf, but score bad. So you have to do this and try to win this Order of Merit.
There was a steady enough start for the Italian, while in the group ahead, Matthew Jordan, currently 10th in the rankings, was in the process of making his place certain.
Pin positions all week were quite tough, green speeds were up, so all in all, factoring it all in, I mean, you could see, playing a Challenge Tour event where under par is a good score is a rarity.
Nicely done, Matthew Jordan. that keeps him up there on the leaderboard, and his dream of a European Tour card next season is looking pretty secure, although of course he'll take nothing for granted, especially in these conditions.
It had been a poor weekend for Sebastian Garcia Rodriguez. After a 6-over par 77 in the final round, there was still hope it could be enough. All he could do was sit and wait.
This is Oliver Farr signing off with a level par 71. He started the week as the bubble boy, 15th in the rankings, and that will be enough to keep him the right side of the line. He's here with his dad on the bag this week. It's clearly been a grind for the Welshman. To Laporta, who's not been able to pull away from Heisler, but that helps. The Italian 2 ahead through 9.
I think the turning point was on 12, where I made a nice up and down for par, and Sebastian unfortunately made bogey. And there I was leading by 3. Then I realized I had a really good chance to win it.
The only man who could deny Sebastian Garcia Rodriguez his place in the top 15 was Frenchman Robin Skio-Sigrist, needing that putt to drop on the last to give him any chance of finishing solo second. But the fate of both wouldn't be sealed until the final group reached the 18th, where all eyes were on Heisler and a crucial par putt, which denied Skio-Sigrist his European Tour card.
For the win, and to finish the season on top of the Road to Mallorca rankings, the grand final champion is Francesco Laporta. What a wonderful week, and what a wonderful season for the Italian.
Sound nice, sound incredible, sound amazing, and it's just a dream come true. My father was there, and the first time my father see me win a tournament, he says bravo, bravo, and well done, and he starts screaming. It was nice to see him crying, and he was shaking, and I think he was really happy.
The Challenge Tour, where heroes are made. The graduates from 2019 now bound for the European Tour. We're sure they'll do us proud.
That's been my goal since I turned pro, to compete on the highest level, on the biggest stage.
1 year's difference, who are playing against the best players in the world week in, week out.
When I was younger, I used to watch all the main tour events and just hope that I'd get the chance to play one, really.
The sacrifices that you make through your childhood, but having the opportunity to go and play at the best venues in the world, if you put it in that context, you're a very lucky guy to be in that situation.
I'm just going to try and keep pushing forward and keep pushing up the world rankings and hopefully become one of the best players in Europe and maybe the world.
I never for 1 second thought that I still wasn't good enough to compete at the highest level. Yeah, and I'm glad that I've proved that to myself.
It's gonna be good because I'm gonna go to see my friends, Migliozzi, Galli, Renato, and Eduardo, Francesco, so it's gonna be great. I can buy more shoes.